It's always fun to hype ourselves up for great games that are coming our way. We've all done it at some point, and we'd say that 2026 is a fine year for it considering the lineup of titles that we're waiting to dive into. It's quite the list, and we're sure that you share our excitement for a majority of them. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Getting to return to the Caribbean to join Edward Kenway on his epic journey from a callous pirate to a noble assassin is definitely something that we're very excited about. A revamped combat system, some extra story cutscenes, and those delightful visuals are just icing on the cake. This one comes out on July 9th, 2026 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Number 2, EA Sports College Football 27. The college football franchise has been doing quite well for itself in recent years, and we don't see why this year should be any different. We already know it's bringing quite the roster for us to enjoy, with some very attractive goodies for those who pre-order any of its editions. Once again, it releases on July 9th, 2026 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Number 3, Palworld 1.0 release. We were blown away by the cinematic trailer that this one dropped recently, and it showcases stunning new locations with fascinating creatures for us to collect over the course of our adventure. It's touted to be the game's biggest update yet, and is sure to bring a lot of exciting new additions to the table, as it brings us to the story's finale when it drops on July 10th, 2026 for all available platforms. Number 4, Splatoon Raiders. Getting to join a pirate musician group that's raiding the Spiralite Islands for treasure? Yes please, sign us up. The recent Nintendo Direct showcase gave us quite a good look at this one, and it honestly only made us the more excited to try out its paint-based weapons, its great progression system, and of course the exploration bot. Talk about the efficient use of tech. It's slated for a June 30th release on the Switch too. Number 5, Halo Campaign Evolved. We're still not over that awesome trailer that showed off the new Covenant faction, some very interesting footage from the new prequel missions, and of course the return of Master Chief. The new weapons are equally intriguing here, and honestly we can't wait to dive in and get blasting with this one when it releases for the Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on July 28th of this year. Number 6, Beast of Reincarnation. Any journey that gives you a furry friend for company is definitely worth undertaking in our book. When you combine that with some parry-focused Souls-like action and a very cool set of powers for Emma, the game's protagonist, you get the recipe for a game that's sure to have us grinding our teeth in frustration, but equally determined to end whatever the hush throws at us. It's slated to release on August 4th for the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 7, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. With a starting roster that brings some of Marvel's best to the table for an action-packed gameplay loop, this one is definitely going to keep us occupied for quite a while. We're particularly interested in the episode mode, where you participate against the enigmatic champion in a tournament where you're surely going to have to bring your best skills to the table. Look out for this one on August 6th on your PC and PS5. Number 8, Mafia: The Old Country Man of Honor. An expansion that doubles up on the nostalgia factor that put this one on the map in the first place is certainly welcome. Heck, it's even better when it gives us a look at Don Salieri's early days before his time in America that set the entire franchise in motion. The trailer was pretty interesting, despite being a little too stingy with details, but it did at least tell us that this one's releasing on August 14th, 2026 on all available platforms. Number 9, The Sinking City 2. Lovecrafting adventures are always a great combination of thrills and chills, and the Slither is looking like a foe you don't want to tangle with unless you're Calvin Rafferty. Of course, the Deep Ones and Shadows are equally credible threats here, and we're quite curious to see how this one has us dealing with them when it comes out on August 18th for the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Heck, there's even a playable demo right now on Steam if you want to try it before buying it. Number 10, Hell Let Loose Vietnam. We were pretty bummed about this one getting delayed to August 13th, but do appreciate Team 17 taking player feedback and the results from its own playtest seriously enough to ask for more time to further polish this one before releasing it to all of us. We're hoping it builds on everything that was good about its predecessor while adding interesting new twists to the table. Number 11, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2. If you've been with us for a while now, you probably already guessed that this one is definitely something that we are eager to dive into. the chance to revisit two titles that cemented our love for the franchise is welcome indeed, and Solid Snake's final chapter is the one that has us the most excited as we are. Of course, Peace Walker is also something we're eager to play again, and it's going to be a difficult choice between them when this one drops on August 27th this year for the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and the Switch 2. Number 12, Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. Sophie was among the more interesting characters in Requiem, and her role in Amnesia and Hugo's Adventure is one that presented her as a complex and nuanced character. It's only logical then that a look into her early days as a headstrong young smuggler exploring Minotaur Island has us itching to get started with it already. Fortunately, we don't have to wait too long until this one drops on August 27th, 2026 for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. Number 13, Star Wars Zero Company. A ragtag group of mercenaries that includes a Jedi, a noble, a droid, and a former separatist embarking on an adventure set during the Clone Wars is music to the ears of any Star Wars fan, and we're no exception. The addition of Anakin Skywalker before his turn to the dark side is another interesting twist that makes this one a very compelling addition to this very list. It's out on August 27th this year for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 14, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. The wait for this one has certainly been a long one, but it's finally coming out on August 28th this year on all available platforms and the Nintendo Switch 2. There's new weapons, armor, and a very welcome option to customize torrents being added to the base game and its DLC, and it's as good a reason as any for us to begin a new playthrough in the run-up to its release. We're pretty excited in all honesty, even if that means taking on the Blade of Miquella yet again. Number 15, EA Sports Madden NFL 27. We were already looking forward to this one before EA highlighted how the Persona engine is gearing up to make each athlete feel quite unique when they step onto the pitch, aside from the superstar GOAT progression path giving us a reason to keep coming back to it for more. And that's only the beginning of all the cool stuff this one's bringing to the franchise when it releases on August 13th, 2026 for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 16, The Blood of Dawnwalker. We've been very eager to play this one ever since it was first announced, and the wait for its September 3rd release has been tantalizing at best and agonizing every time we've got a new glimpse of its gameplay. It looks great. Of course, the latest trailer has only exacerbated those feelings, as we got to see Cohen and Brensis's fight transcend the passage of time itself, just as Vampire should, making this one a game we're going to be diving into headfirst as soon as we get the chance. Number 17, Valheim 1.0 release. The Deep North update and the end of this one's early access period as it makes its PS5 and Switch 2 debut has us very interested in learning what new additions it's bringing to the table in a survival crafting gameplay loop that's also a great take on Norse mythology. The snowy weather isn't the only thing to look forward to, as there are going to be new enemies, places, and faces to engage with when it drops on September 9th, 2026. Number 18, Marvel's Wolverine. Boy oh boy, was that look that we got in this one at the recent State of Play was certainly a good one. Insomniac made a lot of good choices in its take on Logan, and the inclusion of Jean Grey and some very high stakes for the cast make this one a very engaging title indeed. Wolverine looks like a fresh take on a very familiar character, and the mechanics look like they weave his unique powers into the gameplay loop quite well. It's out on September 15th, 2026, and is exclusive to the PS5. Number 19, Trails in the Sky Second Chapter. We've known that this one is coming for a while, and it is going to be out September 17th. Its predecessor ended on quite the cliffhanger, and it's quite a tempting title to consider even in the midst of a very crowded release calendar thanks to one of the big names on our list. We're definitely keeping an eye out for this one. Number 20, Trine 6 Together in Time. This puzzle platformer brings a vibrant color palette to a world that's full of mysteries waiting to be explored, and a charming cast aimed at being memorable by virtue of their unique abilities, and the synergies they build off of them. You get to play it with up to 3 of your buddies, with a bunch of common abilities and a combat system that lets you make the most of them all thrown in. It's releasing for the PC, PS5, Switch, Switch 2, and Xbox Series X and S on the 17th of September 2026. Number 21, Control Resonant. How did Remedy choose to build on what made the predecessor to this one great? Well, it's opened up the doors of the FBC and let its protagonist loose in a version of Manhattan that's been warped beyond recognition. There are enemy designs that range from bizarre to surreal, while the combat takes a more hands-on approach this time around. This one's out on September 24th for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 22, Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. Based on Mattel's popular line of collectible cars, this one is an open-world arcade racer that ditches photorealism in favor of a more amusing take on Hot Wheels, allowing it to bring its own version of the track sets we've always wanted to build to life. It also brings full crossplay compatibility to the table, allowing you to set up evenings of racing that could have you very entertained indeed. It's coming to the PS5, PC, Xbox Series consoles, and the Switch 2 on September 24th, 2026. Number 23, Silent Hill Townfall. Simon Ordell's time in St. Amelia is vastly different from Hinako's adventure in Silent Hill F, but that doesn't make it any less unsettling in the limited glimpses we've got of this one so far. It has all the staples of the franchise, such as nasty monsters and an intense moody setting, coupled with new additions that make this one a game to look forward to if you've got nerves of steel. It's coming out for the PS5 and PC on September 24th. Number 24, Valor Mortis. The chance to play as an undead soldier in a story set during the Napoleonic Wars is definitely something that made us sit up and pay attention. And everything we've seen of this one so far points to an experience that's sure to test our skills and our patience in this first-person Souls-like. Once again, this one's hitting the shelves on September 24th for the PC and PS5. Number 25, Onimusha Way of the Sword. Miyamoto Musashi is back, and he's bringing the Oni Gauntlet back in all its glory, in a title that's as brutal as they come on the gameplay front. The fight against Shuten Doji in the recently released trailer was reason enough for us to be interested in this one, but the playable demo now has us itching to get into it in earnest. We're going to have to wait until September 25th for that chance though, and it's coming to the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 26, Minecraft Dungeons 2. A new evil, 2 new worlds, and the chance of a closer look at the Nether are all factors that contribute to our enthusiasm for this one. There's also the new combat that was shown off in a recent trailer to look forward to, alongside the potential for some very cool DLC being added to it after its September 29th release, for both iterations of the Switch, PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 27, Phantom Blade Zero. We've got high hopes for this one, and a lot of confidence that it isn't going to disappoint when it comes out on October 29th, after a delay that's using the extra time for some polishing. Its combat and traversal mechanics all point to a title that's slick, fast, and challenging, all of which are very attractive features for any game to have. The premise is equally engaging, and we honestly can't wait to dive into this one when it comes out for the PS5 and PC. Number 28, Rayman Legends Retold. It's always great to see Rayman again, and this time around, the classic character is coming back to the spotlight in style. There's a fully 3D art style that brings a colorful world to life with aplomb, while the story might be familiar to those of you who've played through Rayman Legends. This platformer is definitely worth looking out for, and is coming out October 1st, 2026 for the PC, PS5, Switch 2, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 29, Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief. Taking to the skies in fighter jets is always going to be an exhilarating experience, and the addition of super weapons and the ability to send enemy fighters crashing into one another are all facets that add to the allure of this game. It's out on October 2nd for the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S, and there's an attractive bunch of content for those of you who pre-order it. Number 30, Gears of War E-Day. This one's been a long time coming, and honestly we can't wait to rejoin Marcus Phoenix on an adventure that's going to take us back to the beginning of the war between mankind and the Locusts. Despite the lack of a PS5 version on its October 6th launch date, you're still going to get to play it on Xbox and PC. It's also going to be on Game Pass from day one, which is great, so there's that. It's as action-packed as you'd expect from the title, going by the trailer from the Xbox Game Showcase. Number 31, Star Wars Galactic Racer. Pod racing in a galaxy far, far away sounds like the perfect way to unwind after a long day, doesn't it? We doubt we're going to be doing a lot of relaxing after seeing this one in action though, at the 2026 edition of Summer Game Fest. It comes with a lot of tension both on and off the tracks, as you race to become the new champion of the Galactic Racing League. This one's ready to go on October 6th for the PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Number 32, Castlevania Belmont's Curse. This 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania puts the Belmont family whip in the hands of a nimble new protagonist, who must use it to take on Dracula's forces in Paris, hitting them where it hurts while getting more powerful in the process. Trailers indicate that exploration is, of course, a crucial part of it, along with the potential integration of RPG mechanics into its loop. It's coming to the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch 2 on October 15th, 2026. Number 33, Grand Theft Auto 6. This one's certainly one we've all been waiting for with patience, and a fair bit of impatience if we're honest after the last year's delay, and is sure to take over the discourse around gaming when it arrives. It's been imposing enough that other developers have done their best to give it a wide berth, with some interesting effects on this year's calendar that basically change up the releases that you've already noticed, even on this list. It's out on November 19th for the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, with no news of a PC release at the time of writing. Number 34, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time Remake. One of the Zelda franchise's heavy hitters getting a remake is obviously good news. However, Nintendo has been quite cryptic when it comes to details about its gameplay and potential improvements to the original Ocarina of Time. And there's no official release date at this time, other than a rumored November to December release window. It's exclusive to the Switch and Switch 2. Lords of the Fallen 2. Developer CI Games has released a new trailer for its upcoming Souls-like action RPG, Lords of the Fallen 2. Along with giving us more scenes from the story and gameplay, the trailer has also confirmed that the title will be coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Epic Games Store, and Steam simultaneously this fall. The trailer essentially acts as confirmation that Lords of the Fallen 2 won't be bound to any period of exclusivity on the Epic Games Store. This comes following the studio's announcement last month that it had signed a separation agreement with Epic Games, ending the latter's distribution rights to the PC version. However, this decision had no bearing on the technology powering Lords of the Fallen 2, which is developed on Unreal Engine 5. Dragon's Dogma 2: Dark Arisen. Launching on October 9th, Dragon's Dogma 2: Dark Arisen is an enhanced version of the 2024 open-world action RPG, with a new region to explore. Norgan is a snow-covered region where you can find spoils that can be appraised for new weapons, armor, and skills. You'll need it for what awaits, including new dragon bosses. Further details beyond the basic gameplay loop weren't revealed, but considering how much the original Dark Arisen breathed life into the first game, there could be a lot more to unearth. Dragon's Dogma 2 is already available for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC, with Dark Arisen marking the title's debut on the Nintendo Switch 2. Rivage. Say what you will about the PC gaming show and its antics, but this year has proven pretty compelling, especially with games like Rivage. Developed by Ex Nihilo Studio and published by Raw Fury, it's a sci-fi puzzle adventure where players control Miranda, a member of the Ares space crew. As gorgeous and serene as the locales look, however, something is quite wrong here. The crew is missing and Miranda seems to be trapped in a time loop. Does it have something to do with Vesta, the new world discovered by the station? Probably. For the time being, Miranda needs to investigate the station for any clues, be it journals or logs, and carefully examine the environment. Among the more logical puzzles, including repairs and realignments, are those that require messing with gravity. Some solutions may not even be solvable in that loop, instead providing solutions for the next. Rivage is coming on August 13th to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, so we won't have to wait too long to solve its mystery. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Nintendo has announced that it has been working on a new entry in its sports franchise. Dubbed Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, the title is coming exclusively to Nintendo Switch 2 and will feature 12 sports, all of which will be playable entirely through motion controls available on the Joy-Con 2 controllers. The sports available in Nintendo Switch Sports Resort are boxing, archery, table tennis, regular tennis, volleyball, bowling, basketball, golf, thumb wrestling, skateboarding, power cruising, prop playing, and jump rope. Players will have the choice between creating and playing as high-definition sports Miis, or the traditional Nintendo Miis. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort is slated for release on October 22nd. The Duskbloods. FromSoft has been rather quiet since Night Rain came out, and that's because it has been hard at work on this PvE VP Switch 2 exclusive that lets you take control of the Bloodsworn, fierce warriors who are competing against each other for possession of the First Blood, although they might find themselves working together when the situation demands it. There are over 12 unique characters to engage with, although we're yet to get an official release date on it. Outward 2. Nine Dot Studios is dragging you back into the complex yet inviting world of Ori in Outward 2, and thankfully it won't be a long wait. Early access begins on July 7th for PC players. Outward 2 continues the tradition of immersive fantasy with extensive consequences for nearly every single action. You're once again starting as an unremarkable individual, but there are 3 scenarios and 11 backgrounds to influence the beginning. Ori offers 4 core regions with unique biomes and a season cycle that spans the entire year. And that's about it for this one. It's honestly quite a crowded calendar for the second half of the year, but we're sure a lot of you share our excitement for all the great titles that it's set to bring. More games, more memories, and more fun is how we're choosing to look at all of it. So what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.